everybody, and welcome to Missouri Star Live. It's Misty, and I'm here with Courtney again, and we're so excited to spend a little bit of our Tuesday with you. So to start with, like always, let's see where you guys are tuning in from. Make sure you comment where you're watching from. We love to see all of the wonderful people who are joining us. So let's see, we've got Darlene, Germany in the house, Anne from Alberta, Canada, Linda from Las Vegas, hello. London. Ooh, you guys are seeing them faster than me, I think. Austria, Annabelle from Austria. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys being here. We have some fun little projects to share with you guys today. So first off, we're going to talk about these cute little Moda match.
My dad does me.
What did you do?
I accidentally switched to the top camera.
Oh, and they were mad about it. Sorry. He's a wild one, our cameraman. So these we're going to talk about these Moda Matchbox Quilt kits. There's 9 different ones, and we're really going to show you this kit number 1 today, but we'll also kind of show through what you can make with each of them. So you want to start with this first kit?
Sure. Okay. When you get this lovely little kit, a matchbox kit, because it comes in this cute little matchbox.
That's so fun.
I love the boxes. And everything that you need to make the kit is in the box. So the first thing you get...
Can you show us on the table there?
Yes.
It's to you. Yeah, there we go.
Courtney, will you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, Courtney. Oh. I guess I didn't really introduce you because you were here before.
Oh, I work in with Meg in events, so I get to play with Missouri Star Academy, with the birthday bash, buses. I get to greet all the buses that come to town. And I've been quilting for about almost 30 years. So
yeah, she's awesome. She's a wizard.
I've done some.
She stepped in to help us a little bit with these because we've all been running in a million directions. So we appreciate you being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
On some short notice.
My pleasure.
All right.
So in this little kit, you're going to get this cute little, that'll be towards me.
Towards you, yep.
After the 20th one, Misty, maybe I'll get this right.
I know, it's okay.
So you get this great little panel. Everything you need is on this panel fabric-wise. So this is what your little finished quilt's going to look like. This long green strip is your binding.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then all your directions are here. And then here's our little step outs of how we're going to have you sew that all together for us.
Wonderful.
And then here's all the pieces, and they all have little dash lines. And you cut those out, and those are the pieces that we need to make our kit. Sewing, the seam allowance is already included, so all we're doing is cutting on the line.
Okay.
I did use my rotary cutter and a ruler to cut this out. The first thing that I cut out to get it out of the way was this long binding strip. Because it runs the whole length of the panel, I didn't want to cut into it when I was cutting other things. And as I was doing the step outs, I did 3 kits and I was getting all smarty pants and I didn't cut the binding off, and guess what? My rotary cutter went right across the middle of the binding.
Darn it.
So cut your binding off first, everybody, and you're going to be piecing it together.
That's good advice. Very good advice.
So I went through, I did hit, before I started cutting this out, I did hit it with some spray starch. As if you've seen me before, you know I kind of love that stuff. I should have bought stock in it. We are going to be sewing a little bit of bias edges, so they'll be a little stretchy, and that spray starch will help it not to stretch. So I did do that before on my pieces that I cut for our little project here.
Awesome.
So these are the little bits and parts that you will end up with.
After you've cut
and they look kind of confusing, but you just go by the little diagram and it'll tell you how to put all this madness together.
Okay.
So we're going to make our little flying geese units first.
All right.
And I'll show you how to line up, because these look kind of funny, because if you look at our little triangle there, it has these cut off points, and that looks kind of gnarly. And these are going to get sewn on either side.
Okay.
So we're going to flip this one over first. And how we're going to line that up is we're going to make sure that the bottom is lined up real pretty and flat.
Okay, so let's just... So we've taken and we've cut the panel out.
Yes.
Yeah. We've cut out all the pieces of the panel.
These are the pieces.
And now we're moving to the assembly instructions that are also included in the panel. So you guys will get to, if you purchase one of these, it'll be right there for you to follow along with.
And somebody said, what do these sell for?
I'm not sure. Mary's going to look it up for us.
$100 each.
That is a little rich. They are on sale right now for $13.05.
$13.05.
Okay, they're on sale today for right now for $13.05.
Normally they are $14.95.
Regular price is $14.95. $14.95. So you can get that at MissouriQuiltCo.com.
And I'm looking at the bottom of here. See where this lines up real nice and even with that. If you come up a little further, that doesn't line up.
Right.
And if you go down further, that doesn't line up. You want this big wide piece at the bottom to just line up real nice. I'm not really worried about the top at this point. I just want my bottom to look pretty.
Okay, and so then we just...
And then you're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam from that end all the way up to this end.
All right, let's do it.
Dang it.
All right. Here's our first little piece. There's that.
Okay. And we'll press that open, and I'm going to press it towards the white, and we can just finger press it for now. If you're going to iron it, I wouldn't use steam because that stretches too. Just use a nice dry iron. And then we're going to put the second piece on, and we're going to line it up real pretty across the bottom again.
Same thing.
And then sew either from the top down or the bottom up. It doesn't really matter, but
All right.
I usually go from the top.
Excellent. Oops, I slipped a little bit. Let me line that back up.
Also on the minis, sometimes when I do the minis, I do a little bit smaller of a stitch length
Oh, okay.
because they are smaller pieces, so I go down to usually a 2 on my machine.
There we go. Got it now. Oh, I always forget to use that thread cutter. Oh well. That one all right.
Dandy. Okay,
Wow.
I'm gonna hit this with the iron real quick.
Got all this junk in your way, don't we?
You're fine. It was easy enough. Okay. So now we're back, and I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut off our little dog ears just to get them
Okay.
out of the way.
Perfect.
Okay. Then some of the other parts that were in there is we had these little half square triangles.
Okay.
And we're just gonna sew those together to make 2 of these. So I already sewed one together.
All right.
So we just need to sew that together. And I'll trim this. Well,
I think I might have a wider 1/4 inch than you do.
well, it'll all work out.
It'll all work out.
We'll make
They're
it work,
close.
Misty. Alrighty, so I'm gonna trim these little dog ears too.
All right, great.
All right, now we need to lay it out into our little quilt kit to see what our little quilt looks like. So here's our little diagram right here,
All right.
and we're just gonna follow that little diagram.
Let's move it up just a smidge so they can see these pieces.
And let's see, that goes on this side. This
Yeah.
goes in the middle. Green on the bottom, green in here. And the other tricky thing is, oh, we're missing, let me grab another.
Right here.
There it is. Watch how these little half square triangles are oriented. I tried to do this once, and you know. So
So
just
it's
make
basically
sure.
cutting it in half with the turquoise and the green there.
Yes,
Really cute.
that's perfect. Okay,
All right.
so then we're just gonna sew these
Sew
rows
our
together.
rows together.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Jody had a question if the 1/4 inch is a scant 1/4 inch or a regular 1/4 inch seam.
I'm using a regular 1/4 inch seam right now. Does it specify? It just says it includes a
It's a
1/4
1/4
inch
inch.
seam allowance, so I think it's just a regular 1/4 inch seam. That's what I'm doing, and it's working great so far.
And I know too, sometimes machines are all different. I got a new machine recently, and that 1/4 inch foot, I have to go a little bit bigger. And
Hold
then on my
on,
other
I forgot.
machine, I can go right along the edge of the foot. So everybody's machines are a little different.
That way. Okay. Make sure.
And
I have
sometimes it
that
depends on what thread you're using. If you're using a thicker thread, sometimes you need to go with a scant 1/4 inch. Because that thread, you don't think it takes up some of that seam allowance, but it can. And if it's a thicker thread, you might get into trouble.
Kate said that she has one of these kits quits, but it scares her more than a big quilt.
Oh, don't be scared. It was really fun, and it goes really fast. You'll see how quick we can get it done.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna iron this while Misty's doing the next one.
I'm sewing. Okay, got it. This side.
Yeah, don't be afraid, Carol. It took me 3 before I cut anything off, so. And
Yeah.
there's always and we're kind of near a few fabric stores here in town, so I can substitute my binding with, or you could use it out of your stash. You don't need a whole lot for binding.
This one turned out okay. It got a little wonky, but I think I got it okay in this seam
And that
allowance.
one will go on the other side.
Okay. Excellent. I feel like these little projects are fun to learn, and if you have somebody who maybe is afraid to try a big quilt, it might be a great place to start, don't you think?
It is a great place to start. The other thing that I took mine to a retreat recently, and I was in the middle of something that was very monotonous for 2 solid days, and I just needed to feel like I finished something.
Yeah.
So I grabbed my little Matchbox quilt and sat there and did a little bit of the hand quilting, and it was great fun, and it went together quickly.
Super fast.
It was nice.
Debbie is asking, when you cut it out, should you nip off the triangle tips?
If you feel comfortable cutting off the triangle tips when you're cutting it out, you certainly can do that. I'm a play by the rule usually person, so
too.
by golly, if it tells me to cut on those lines, I'm cutting them out. But it'd be a great idea to cut those tips off.
There are 9 different kits, and we'll show you all the different patterns you can make when we finish this one. Oops, right sides.
And what size do they finish up to be?
Well, let's put it on this there mat. I think they're 6 inches, 6.5. 6.5 inches.
There we go, there's that one. All right.
All right, then if you would like to sew that to that.
Absolutely. See, they're pretty easy, especially when you have somebody to help you iron.
I love ironing person.
Yeah, no
I haven't
kidding.
got the dogs quite trained to use my iron.
Oh, wouldn't that be the dream?
And sorry, Bob, but you're not going near my iron. No, actually, he does help me iron sometimes. But.
This one is a little wonky. I should have put it the other way, I think. Got some extra fabric. We'll just see if we can.
Well, in these two, we piece some of it with my machine and then some on this, so there may be a little bit of variation too going on.
Yep.
So.
We're just going to put it together and see how it turns out. Oops. Didn't line up on this side. See? Got off here.
Oh,
I don't know how. Oh well.
it's all right. And then that'll go on the bottom.
Okay.
Somebody said I should get a microphone. I agree with you guys.
Jake needs
Sorry.
a microphone.
We
How do you
have-
feel about that, Misty?
I totally agree. We have one of our microphones that's being repaired. We usually have 3, and one is currently being repaired. So we're going to get him one, I promise. But we'll do better and try and repeat his questions so you guys can hear what he's saying if you can't hear him. All right, there's that little one.
All right, I'll press this.
We'll just
guy
ignore
flat.
that one little corner that gave
Yeah.
us a hard time. Rest of it lined up nicely.
The table, we gotta slide that thing forward a little bit.
The mat, like there. All right.
All right. So that did get a little wonky
Yeah,
on that end.
that one
Not
side.
quite sure what happened there.
I'm not sure either. The rest of it lined up so nicely. So
But this is the gist anyway.
yeah.
And then to finish this, in your little box, you don't get the needles. I brought those from home. The needles for the quilting I used, you can just use an embroidery needle or a crewel needle. Either of those work just fine. You just want something that has a pointy end to go through all your layers. You also get a little piece of batting, which is nice. Then you don't have to raid your stash. And then you have your little piece of backing also on there. So you have everything all ready, and then it's ready to be quilted however you decide to quilt it. Now, if you're doing it just like the pattern, just like the sample, then
it's just some straight
line stitching. I used a blue water-soluble pen to mark my lines just with my ruler.
Oh, that's good
and
advice.
It worked just fine. Be careful if you're using the Frixion pens, because those sometimes don't come out of your quilting, but it's a smaller project. You might be okay, but I stick with the blue water.
Yeah.
Water soluble, it's safer for me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And quilt it how you want. I also, on this one, I decided to do something different, and I just machine quilted it.
Very cute.
So it's all, I just did a quick quarter of an inch around the side.
And then
just to get it done.
Put your binding on.
And I did something different with the binding. I was a rule breaker for once. So I went to put the binding on. The binding was cut, and it's 2 1/4 inches. And I went to put it on here, and it felt really bulky. And then I remembered a lot of the time, designers that have done miniature quilts and smaller things use a single fold binding instead of a double fold.
Oh.
So there's not as much binding on the edges, and also you're not handling these a lot, so you don't need the strength of a double fold binding.
Okay.
So I cut mine down to 1 1/4 inch wide, so I didn't use this whole thing.
Strip, yeah.
Yep. And then to do a single fold, it's just kind of the same, but instead of having the 2 layers that you're stitching down, it's just 1 layer.
Okay.
And then when you're done stitching, I usually iron this up. You bring it to the back and you fold it under and then hand stitch it.
As always.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I did on this one. I did the hand stitching. And it looks a little less. This is the next one. And see, it gives it, and it does give it more of a thicker border. And if that's what you want, that's fine too.
That's good advice. I've never done the single fold binding, so.
Yeah, and it just, I don't know, I like the single fold on these. But
yeah, that's really fun. All right, so let's go through each of the patterns. So just one more time, there's 9 different patterns of these Matchbox kits available. This one that we've been showing you is kit 1 right here. And then number 2 is right here.
Look at those little
geese.
They're little.
So
they're cute.
tiny. Number 3, 4, 5.
Whoa,
We're going too
slow
fast?
down.
Sorry. 4. Here we go. 5. I'm sorry, ladies. Number 6. That one's fun. I like that
is
little
fun.
square in the square. 7.
I love that. It's very simple. It's got a lot of open space.
Very modern, and I
that
like
one
this too. Number 8. And finally, number 9. Super, super fun, easy projects. Like I said, I think it's a great little thing, to give to a friend as a gift, or even exchange. It would be fun for everybody to make their own and kind of trade them. So
absolutely,
super fun project. Awesome.
Somebody said they're cute, but what are they for? So I think that's.
Yeah, so you can use them to decorate your sewing room. You can use them as a mug rug. Like I said, give them to friends. They're great little gifty items if you don't necessarily have time to make a whole quilt, but you want to throw something handmade in there. This would be perfect for that.
Or you can make a table runner with 3
or 4.
Yes, that's
true. You could piece them together to make a table runner with
or a little bigger wall hanging with all 9.
Yeah.
And just sew them all together first and then quilt them.
Yes, I saw the idea of sewing all 9 of them and kind of putting them into a mini quilt.
Yeah, sewing all 9 together would be a great idea. That'd be so cute. So
pot holders if you use.
If you use the Insulbrite instead of regular batting, you could use them as pot holders. How cute would those be in your kitchen?
Your pot holders would be the talk of the town.
Talk of the town pot holders. That's right. That is right. They're so cute. All right. Well, so those are the Matchbox kits. We have one more. Well, I guess technically 2 more things. We're going to show you guys. We have some really fun panels. Let's move these out of the way over here. Whoops. Some super fun panels to make different little projects. And we're going to start with these.
The bear family.
This little bear family.
Is it Goldilocks?
Goldilocks and the 3
I guess
bears.
It is.
So cute. And so if you're not familiar with these, this is the Home Sweet Home panel. Is that all it is? Home Sweet Home panel, and it features Goldilocks and the 3 little bears. Where'd the little baby go?
Here's the baby.
There's a little baby. So cute.
Misty,
Yeah.
one one more comment before we leave the
Okay.
mini quilts, Matchbox quilts.
Yes.
Is somebody was saying it's a great way to like take on free motion in like a smaller project to kind of like get that.
That's
still a finished project.
That's a great idea. Jake brought up, he wanted us to mention this before we bounce completely away from these little mini quilts. He mentioned, someone mentioned in the comments that this would be a perfect place to practice free motion quilting. So if you didn't hear that, these would be awesome. This is way less intimidating than a whole big quilt. So this would be a great place to practice your free motion skills. All right, thanks for whoever left that comment. That's great advice. So then we're going to talk about this Home Sweet Home panel, and if you're not familiar with them, they're pretty awesome because here at the top it lists all of your instruction and supplies that you have for it, and then it's the same kind of thing that we did in the kit where you just cut out on the lines and you get these awesome little projects. So you can see here some of the doll pieces, and this one's really quite large. It opens up for you to get all of your different pieces. So
I would again use a very small stitch on here. You're going to be stuffing it with polyfill.
Yeah.
So use a small stitch on your sewing machine. I would also, when you're sewing like the doll front to the back, I would put the opening to stuff it. I would hide that underneath where her, under here where her dress is. So you won't see the seam when you're hand stitching it closed.
Yeah.
So just kind of think about that when you're sewing them together, where you want the hole to be.
Yeah, I think the stitch length is really important because that was one thing that I forgot to check. I made a similar panel with my daughter that was a little mermaid, and she wanted to sew it, and the stitch length was longer on the machine at the time, and so we had some stuffing coming through, so we had to go back around and restitch. So that's really good advice. So yeah, that's super fun. Are we gonna cut one out, or are we just showing it off?
We're
a
just
little
showing.
Bit? Just showing it off. So super cute. That one, once again, is called Home Sweet Home. And it's these cute little dolls. And then we have one other one here. This is...
I don't know. Do you want it this way? Or?
I don't know. It depends on if he's main camera or top cam. So this is called Freya and Friends. Right?
Yes. Freya and her friends.
Freya and her friends.
Scoot it up just a hair.
Okay. So this is this cute little house where Freya and her friends are getting together for a tea party. It's got a little bed and her little dog, Fred, and all these little pieces that go with it. On this panel, it's the same thing. It tells you the supplies, but there are a few things in this case besides just the polyfill that aren't included, like some fusible web and felt and a little bit of batting. So you just have to, when you get a panel like this.
We're not sewing the doll together.
They're mad we're not sewing the doll together?
I'm seeing some emojis on here. I'm not sure what they mean.
No angry emojis, my friends.
Tears.
Tears. Sad emojis. Okay. I don't want sad emojis either. That's terrible. We just wanted to kind of show you what these include because they're super fun. And I didn't realize, quite how detailed some of these were.
This is cute. It has little
sayings about each of the characters. Yeah.
And there's Fiona, Freya's little friend.
This is Freya. Is it Freya? Freya?
Freya. We can be French.
Freya. Yeah, Freya. And then her friend Fiona and Felicity. All these little F's. So either way, it's just super cute. And we wanted to show you some of these things that are available. If you're looking for something a little different, to kind of like you said, spark your creativity if you didn't need to just make something really quick. Either way, is there anything else we need to cover?
Question about, does Freya have a case to carry it in? Everything fits inside the house.
Oh, we had a question about a carrying case for Freya. So everything actually closes up. Let me see if I can show you. And you close it up inside this little house and it snaps. And so it is its own adorable.
Is that a real question, Mary, or was that a marketing?
Adorable carrying case. Isn't that so cute? So she just gets to go inside of her little house, and you can keep all your pieces together that way. So that was a great question. That's awesome. And there's also little pockets, like for these smaller pieces, like you have these little dish pieces, so you can slide all your little dishes in there. And I guess you can keep.
You lost a cupcake. Did you get that?
I lost a cupcake. Thank you very much. Got it. All right, but yeah, great question. So it keeps it all together in there. They're adorable.
Don't lose Fred.
Don't lose Fred. My daughter would love this. This is so cute.
It's really cute. It's great to have on hand for grandkids.
Right, yeah.
Just a
really,
quick stitch
really
up
fun
thing for them to play with.
Well, awesome. Well, I think that pretty much covers what we have for today. So we have any other questions? Any other pressing questions? Anything?
We got 3 minutes we can answer questions.
3 minutes of questions, friends. So we'll take them.
Also, links to the Matchbox quilts and all of our craft panels are in the post.
Okay, also Mary just mentioned that if you're looking for links to these products that we've showed you today, the Matchbox quilts and these project panels and even some more that we haven't showed you, there's links in the post for you guys to check those out.
And somebody asked if they're available at MSQC.
They are available.
Of course.
Yes, they're available at MSQC. We try to only show you things that you can get from us so that, we're hooking you up in that department. But either way, any other questions?
Somebody said, can we tell Jenny to make more Jelly Roll Race quilts?
Make more Jelly Roll Race quilts.
I could talk to her. She's made a lot.
I mean,
a lot of Jelly
you
Roll
mean
Race
like
quilts.
another tutorial? Because she makes a lot of Jelly Roll Race quilts. But we could probably talk to her about another tutorial. And we actually might have something in the works for that. So just be watching.
Somebody said it'd be a cool fit if it was for boys and it was like a barn and animals.
Yes, that would be so cute.
That's a great idea.
That would be awesome.
Freya needs a Fred.
Yeah, Freya.
A Fred that's not a dog.
Yeah. We need a little farm. Fred needs a farm. That's what we need.
Fred needs a farm.
Oh,
we don't want to send Fred to the farm.
No, that's right. Fred's the dog. I was thinking it was a boy. Okay.
It could be Frank the boy.
Frank needs a farm.
Frank is Frank.
We got it, guys.
Frank needs a farm.
We're full of good ideas here.
That's us. We're on it.
We are so on it. No, but that would be so cute.
That would be really
Yeah,
cute. That's a great idea.
My Ezra would love that.
Yes.
That's awesome.
We got a few more callers. We got somebody from Wisconsin here.
Thank
Go
you. Someone from
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Let me hop on and see if I see anything else that. Someone still wants to know about a pre-cut wedding ring quilt. Jenny's. That's her goal. We'll
Yes.
see.
We need one of those.
We want one. We'll see what we can do.
Send me the link, please.
Oh, someone said the dolls look intimidating. They're not very intimidating.
No.
You just have to take your time and pin and make sure that they line up. But they're really not intimidating.
Yeah.
These
These are just two pieces.
Yeah.
A little girl.
Just front and back.
Yeah.
Jen's first quilt was a Jelly Roll Race.
Oh,
Pretty
Jen.
awesome.
Jen, your first quilt was a Jelly Roll Race. That's awesome. They're so fun. They're really fun. And so fast.
It's actually Jen E.
Jen E. Jenny.
Jen E.
Awesome.
I like
Thanks.
that. I like that.
Awesome. Oh, someone asked how much. The panels are all different prices, but you can see those prices if you click the link in the post. So any of those that you're interested in, you'll be able to find them at Missouri Quilt Co. And same with the Matchbox kits. I know they were on sale today, and the regular price on those is $14.95. Right. Okay. Awesome.
Jolene made the mermaid.
Oh, somebody else made the Little Mermaid. Isn't it so cute? I love that one. My daughter made it all by herself, so it's not perfect, but it makes me happy. It's adorable. Oh, someone asked about more giveaways. You know, we like to throw those in now and then, so just keep watching, stay tuned. We'll keep those coming.
Next week.
Next week.
Wait, and the question that comes every time: what brand sewing machine does Mom use?
Oh yes, we get a couple of questions every week, so we'll acknowledge them. This is the Baby Lock Jane. She uses it all the time. It's her favorite, but it is just a straight stitch. So if you need more than a straight stitch, the iron is the, whoops.
Can't see you. You disappeared.
I'm
You
coming.
disappeared.
This is the Oliso Auto Lift iron that Jenny uses. And this quilt behind me is the Missouri Star quilt. So Jenny has a tutorial for that on YouTube. You can check it out. And I think that pretty much covers it.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, everybody.
As always, yes, thank you, Courtney,
Thanks,
for
Misty.
being here.
You bet.
You are
Thanks for having
awesome.
me.
And we will catch you next Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks for tuning in and have an awesome day.
Keep sewing.
Keep sewing, that's right.